Hi guys, welcome back to Just the Matthew. So on this video, I will show you the reply of mine to the comments that I have from the Ware opening chess videos that I have. For example, on this video, in which this is my first Ware opening, in which the white here wins in just 9 moves. So I have a very best comments, for example on this video, in which, for example, where Eric Cantor say here that a weak player might fall for this. So he believes that only weak player can fall for this opening. So let's see later on if the opponent that we have defeated by this kind of opening is a weak player. So I just reply here with, for example, I cannot say that they are weak players to beat some point on online with opponents 2200 rating. So thank you for watching. Keep safe always. So that was just my reply to this kind of comment. So another best comment that I have on this video is, for example, after where Gallagher Stampede's comment that only 100 elo rating plays bishop c6 instead of knight c6. So okay, later on we will take along with two games for just a reply for these two best comments that I have on this video with the Ware opening. So I just reply here that unfortunately some of my games I beat 2400 plus online rating with this kind of drop. So let's take a look now the evidence that I have gathered to answer these best comments that I have on the Ware opening. So let's go. This is my game on the chess.com with the Ware opening, and it all starts with the move a4. And here my opponent is 2195 rating on the chess.com, and he start with the move a4, in which in this first move his real intention here is to copycat us, but on this rapid game still I play the move 2 to a4, and again he copycat with a5. And here on my video I play here the knight c3 on the third move, but on this game I play the move knight c3. So again my opponent here copycat with knight c6, and after bishop c4, bishop c5, still we have a symmetrical position with symmetrical moves also. And after, for example, knight f3, knight f6, h3, h6, and he's trying to copycat all of my moves after d3, d6, castle, castle. And we shall see in this position now that we have a symmetrical position. But the only difference here, if my opponent will still go on copycat to my moves, if the move that we make is an exchange, because he will lose a tempo here. For example, after bishop to e3, and he cannot actually afford here to copycat us with bishop to e6, because after, for example, capture, 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 and capture, he will then lose a tempo after, for example, capture a pawn, check, capture, and here. So we shall see on this position that after, for example, if he copycat us again with a capture on f3, then he will lose this book. So that was the downside of copying some of your moves to your opponent, because after a move that we encounter to some exchanges, then you will lose a material because you are actually a tempo down. So on this position he captured our bishop, and it boosts our center pawn. And for example, after he go with knight to b4, I complete my development after we connect our rooks. And after, for example, c3, trying to play d5, but again we control the semi-open file on f file. And after d5, capture, capture, and again retreat because there is 3 defender versus one attacker. So after here, he actually blundered this pawn because we actually have two attackers versus one defender. So we gain a pawn here. And after queen b6, we control the open e file. And after bishop d7, we again control the second rank. And after, for example, this move, I sidestep first my king because there was queen here on the diagonal and I don't want to have some possible checks in the future. So after capture our pawn and having two attackers to this knight with only one defender, but after knight a4 here, and he cannot actually capture our knight here because we can immediately just grab that queen, and after, for example, in this position we win two pawns after some exchanges. So on this position after knight a4, he actually blundered with a capture with the rook and he loses queen, and after that he actually resigned on this game. So that was my best Ware opening game on the chess.com. Just for example, after e4, e5, it is pretty obvious that his strategy is to copycat our moves. But although instead of playing our knight f3, just like in my previous video, I play here another knight moves, but still we win here. Okay, we are on the lichess.org, and here I will show you my sweet and short game with the Ware opening. So shall see this game that my opponent here is to 400 rating. So okay, so I am white here and I play the Ware opening, and my opponent here reply with the d5 move, and after e4 a sacrifice move. But after he captured the pawn on e4 and I play the move knight c3, knight f6 defending the e4 pawn, and queen to e2 and bishop f5 defending the e4 pawn, we shall enter now into the trap that I have previously uploaded after queen to b5 check. And after this move, my opponent here save his bishop and his king with bishop d7, and I capture now the pawn on b7 with a threat to capture the rook on a8. So he defend that with bishop to c6. But after this move, it let us do with our trap on this opening after the move bishop to b5. Because after bishop to b5, there is two attackers to his bishop. So he defend that. But after queen d7, bishop takes c6, queen takes c6, it is checkmate in 9 moves with queen c8 checkmate. So in this game, I win in just 9 moves with the Ware opening with a top 400 rating opponent, as an evidence that this Ware opening can actually be a dangerous opening for white if your opponent here doesn't know the trap after knight c3, knight f6, queen e2, bishop f5, queen b5 check, and after the move a retreat and queen takes b7 and bishop c6 with bishop b5, we can win in just 9 moves after a couple of moves and a checkmate on c8 square. So that's all, guys. So I hope you enjoy my two example games that I actually win with this kind of opening, the Ware opening, on the online platform of chess, the chess.com and the lichess.org. And thank you for Sadres Tatico Fernando Souza for a very nice comment. I actually highly appreciate your good comment. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to subscribe.